Now let's do C and D. I can see here that this is the base, and the base is a triangle, and it doesn't come to a point, so it's triangle based, but we can write triangular, or you can write triangle based, and it is a prism because it goes up to the exact same triangle. It does not come up to a point. Now we need to do surface area, so we're going to want to make sure we label things really clearly. This is obviously the top, and we can make the base. I'll just label that as the bottom. But then it's kind of difficult, and we want to just come up with a name that seems pretty clear, though yours could differ a little bit. I would think that the back is back there. So, okay, that's the, I'm thinking that's like that. So that's the back, and then I would do that's the left, and that's the right. So those are what I'm thinking. Are there any that are the same? So, like I'm looking here on the right side, it's a square, or a rectangle, sorry, base times height, 6 times 12. On the left, it's 8 times, well, it doesn't say, but it's also 12. 8 times 12. Those are different. 6 and 12, 8 and 12. So, okay, left and right are completely different. How about the back? 12, or no, what is this? That's not 12, that's 10. Oh, look, 10. So the back is 10 by 12. Also different. So the left, the right, and the back are all different, but the top and bottom are the same. So I'll give you a second just to pause it here, but I've listed top and bottom as the same. There's the back, left, and the right. So go ahead and pause it. Now let's actually do this. Okay, so the top and bottom, those are triangles. So these are a triangle, and we have, and I'll just draw this so you can kind of see. We got a triangle like that, and that's there, and this one's 8, and this one's 6. So when we want to find the area, we have to go base times height divided by 2. Now when you look at the triangle, like when you look at that, you're like, well, what's the base and what's the height? And so the base could be 6 and it could be 8 tall, or the base could be 8 and it could be 6 tall. And so that's what I've drawn here. The base is 8 and it's 6 tall. But you could do it the other way if you wanted to. Again, it's multiplying, so multiplying 6 and 8 and 8 and 6, the order doesn't matter. So 8 times 6 divided by 2. Now 6 times 8 is 48, cut in half is 24. So we're at 24, that's our bottom, but it's also the same as our top, so we have to double it. So we have 40, whoops, I'll do that in black here, 48, it's probably centimeters again, I don't know if I changed, inches, okay, there you go, wow. Inches squared, because it's area, it's inches squared. Okay, so that's our top and our bottom. Taking care of that. Now the back. The back is a rectangle. So we'll go base times height. And the base is here. That I think was 10. Yeah. So it says 10. So base is 10 times the height. 10 times 12. So I'm going to write 10 times 12. 10 times 12, which would get me 120 inches squared. Now I got to do the left. The left is also going to be a rectangle. In fact, the right is also, there's a bunch of rectangles, base times height. But let's do the left-hand one first. So base is going to be here, 8 times the height, which is 12. So 8 times 12. 8 times 12, which is 96 inches squared. The right side, so we're going to have the base times the height, rectangle, so 6 times 12. 6 times 12, which is going to be 72 inches squared. So that is all of the surfaces. So we need to put some sort of concluding statement. Therefore, our surface area, SA, is equal to, I've forgotten the number here, 48. And I don't know what these are in my head, so I guess I'll just do this vertically. 48, 120, 96, and 72. 6 and 2 is 8, 8 beside is 16, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14, 24, 23. With 2 up there, 2 and 1 is 3. So it equals 336 inches squared. So that is our surface area. So what do we got next? Our next one. Actually, I'll just zoom this out a little bit here in case you need to copy something down. Okay, so that was a triangular prism because the bottom was a triangle. This, the bottom, oh, it looks like a square, like it looks like a rectangle, but I think it's a square, 10 by 10, yeah. So it's a square based, not a rectangle based, it's a square based, and it comes to a point, so we'll say it's a prism. Square based prism. Okay, so what do we have here? So we have the bottom. This is going to be the bottom. Now this right here is a triangle. This side's a triangle, and it is 10 and it's 13 tall. And it's the same as this one, 10, and this would also be 13 tall. But then that is 10 and 13 tall. They're all 10. So this, because it's a square. Oh, yeah, of course, it's a square. So we're going to have the bottom, and then the other ones, all 4 triangles, front, back, left, and right, are all the same. So I just labeled it as 4 triangles, and we can go from there. Now the bottom is a square, so base times height, 10 times 10, which is 100. And we are, what is it, meters. So 100 meters squared. Now a triangle is base times height divided by 2. And the triangles, I've forgotten now, what are the bases? So the base is 10 and the height is 13. So 10 times 13, and then we're going to cut that in half. So the base is 10, the height is 13, and now we can divide by 2. What do I have here? 130 is the top, divided by 2 or cut in half. And then 130 cut in half is 65 maybe meters squared. And then there's 4 of them. Now, I don't know my 65 times tables, but I do know that 65 and 65 is 130 because we already wrote it there. And then to do that doubled would be 260. So we've got 260 meters squared for our 4 triangles. Therefore, our surface area is going to equal the 100 plus the 260 for a total of 360. So 360 meters squared is our surface area. So that one's pretty straightforward. I'm going to zoom out here so you can copy, but it's worth just noting that E and F are a lot more difficult. All of a sudden there's circles involved. We have to use 3.14 and there's cylinders. So they're just a little bit more time consuming. And then a cone and a sphere have their own formulas as well. These ones, however, that we did at the beginning, one was a cube, one was a rectangle based one, and then we've got a triangle prism and a square prism. And those are the ones that we just did. So no circles there, which is why I think they're a little bit easier.